Hello again. Hi. Okay. Back with some more PGR over here. I hope everybody is having a good day. I'm having a good one. And, yeah, I hope, I started that sentence and I didn't know where it was going. I'm gonna get better at saying words. Anyway. Hi! So, as you can see, we're doing some more Punishing Grey Raven. We still have 6 more parts of the chapter Dreams Rewound to go through. So we're gonna do that. As a bit of a brief recap, in this chapter, we've been kind of, after the time reset that happened in Wither to Shine, we've been kind of speed running the events of chapters that occurred in the first timeline, but of course with whatever changes may have occurred in the new timeline. We just finished the redone version of Polaris Bond. So now we're moving on to Source Beacon. And I guess for those who don't know, this is one that I've streamed before, but it was a while ago. So for those who don't know, in the chapter Source Beacon, a couple things happen. First, the Commandant and Teddy, pictured here, I love Teddy, she's mean to me, but in a fun way. The Commandant and Teddy investigate like a sealed off portion of Gestalt's data, trying to find what's in there. And at the same time, Lucia and Liv get stuck in the hetero forest and need to get helped out. But I'm not sure the hetero forest even exists in this timeline. They've been a bit vague about it. They've been referring to the Dead Zone, which is, I assume, where the hetero zone was, but I don't know if it's as progressed as it. Because, like, the hetero zone had, like, a bunch of, like, punishing, like, plants and wildlife and stuff. I don't know if the Dead Zone is the same thing, or... yeah. And at the same time, while Lucia and Liv were trying to get in there, we gave Teddy like an upgraded invert device and sent her in to actually go fight Cradle for the first time. That was fun. I love the Cradle boss fight. I don't know if I'm gonna do it again, but like, by which I mean I don't know if I'm gonna do it again in this story chapter, because there's still more chapters that I have to like do gameplay with, but we'll see. Data Space Phantom. Oh, hi Neo. Yes, it is Luke. It's me. How are you? Hey, Data Space Phantom. Are you a time traveler? Did you mess everything up? You're okay? Well, that's good. The new central... You just lost your competitive match? Oh, I see. In which game? The new central purification filters, equipped with an improved filter core, are quickly spreading like wildfire across all conservation areas under Babylonia's control. Oh, Overwatch, I see. May you have better luck next time. However, even with these advancements, the new central purification filters can't completely eliminate the punishing virus. While the filters drive it away, the virus slowly reforms in areas outside the safe zones. In places without the new filters, dead zones gradually merge into vast regions, becoming breeding grounds for red tide and more hetero creatures. Okay, so maybe there are hetero forests in this timeline still? And they're just calling them dead zones this time? these creatures are slowly evolving. Oh, so maybe what happened is, like, the heteroforests are appearing, but they're appearing more slowly than they did originally? Yet, the people of Babylonia have no time to worry about these looming disasters. The elites have unanimously shifted their focus from external threats to internal affairs, specifically fixating on information leaked from Gestalt. Your last 24 hours were eventful. You were at the Ren Fair, one of your dogs. Oh no! And you've been invited to a gala. Well, 2 of those things are good, and one of them is not. Your dog is okay, right? Okay, good. More precisely, they're obsessed with the timestamp attached to that information. There's nothing in Gestalt that corresponds to this timestamp. Hunched over the console, Teddy explains to the person beside them without looking back, their hands never pausing as cascading data and complex command windows flash on the screen. Oh no! He likes to look out your bedroom window and he accidentally stuck his head in the... Yeah, I see. I see how that works. Well, good thing he's okay. So, the problem is that Gestalt has a bug? If that were the case, the response team would have to act tomorrow to handle the chaos this bug would cause throughout Babylonia. It's not a bug. Someone's already pinpointed its time period. I'm just the unlucky soul who got stuck with the mission of tracing this timestamp back to its original coordinates. What do you mean? I'm not really a techie type, Teddy. This thing just doesn't exist before the leak. Good luck trying to reverse engineer it with conventional methods once it's intercepted. Its origin is pretty obvious then. He's already dumb as fuck. You don't know if a lack of oxygen would even do anything to him. Maybe not. Maybe he'd just be like, continue to smile and be dog. The display's flurry of activity finally dies down. Teddy lets out a slow breath, taking a moment to rest. Just then, a communication dialog pops up with a note attached to the timestamp. Golden Age. It's straight from the Golden Age. Right out of Dominic's impenetrable chasm of zeros and ones. From beyond that unsolvable data wall inside Gestalt. Data wall. A data wall discovered by Teddy and the Grey Raven Commandant in Gestalt. As a blockade created by Dominic within Gestalt, the data wall may contain a vast amount of Golden Age technology materials and research results. As she speaks, Teddy glances at the persistently flashing communication alerts and lets out a derisive snort. Parliament erupted the moment this news hit. Public pressure, directives, demands, pulling every personal favor they could. Those politicians have thrown more tactics at me than there are antivirus programs, all to push me into finding a breach in that wall. And then escort their technicians inside. Memories surface of the scene witnessed when connected with Teddy. That bizarre space existing within Gestalt. That data wall stretching endlessly from ground to sky. Does that thing really have a breach? And even if it does, would anyone even be able to get through? No. My professional assessment is no, but unfortunately, nobody's gonna listen to me. She shrugs, her eyes glued to the terminal screen in front of her. Those pencil pushers who fuss over meeting minutes always have some crazy idea about the past. I can't wait to make their glorious mark in the history books, writing, This is the decision that turns the page on humanity's history, leading us into a new era. Teddy suddenly goes quiet, her brow furrowed as she zeroes in on a specific point in the data stream. Did you find something? Not yet, but... Her fingers fly across the terminal at lightning speed. 3, 2, 1. Got it. The final coordinate. After swiftly punching the precise coordinates into the terminal and transmitting them to Asimov, Teddy finally turns around and picks up where she left off. Coordinates... Nobody even remembers that when we first stepped into Gestalt, we only wanted to use its computing power to upgrade the Inver device. People losing sight of their original purpose isn't exactly rare. The original Inver device structure and Golden Age treasures clearly pique their interest way more than just upgrading the Inver device. The Normans really went all out to make that happen. Hi Ash Frost, how are you? I hope you're having a good night, or day, or... I don't know. Time. Norman Mining Corp's former leader, Charles Norman, had extensive cooperation with Dominic. Its current leader, Victoria Norman, is the sister of Teddy, real name Christina Norman. Yeah, I hope you're having a good day today, Ash Frost. At the mention of the name, Teddy rolls her eyes. Those people are so hung up on digging up anything about Dominic from Gestalt or Reactor Number 1. They're so shallow, they completely miss the point. Oh, you're trying PGR too, Ash Frost? Neat. I wonder who this healer Red Mage Luke is. Who's that guy? Sounds like he's kind of like stealing my shtick. But I'm curious what you think of it so far. It can be a little restrictive in the early game. A lot of gachas are kind of like that. And of course, as always, be responsible with your money. But I'm curious what you think. This is thankfully one of the more free-to-play friendly gachas. You get a lot of currency. And the pity counter for pulling is really pretty low. But yeah, I'm curious what you think. Are you talking about Dominic? It's Gestalt, okay? Gestalt. Seems kinda adorkable, swoons over hot men a lot. Oh my god. Whoever this guy is, it sounds like he's copying me. What if people think I'm copying him? I have to assert my identity. The young woman narrows her eyes, giving you a sidelong glance. She's giving me side eyes? That checks out for her. That message with the error stamp, the one Gestalt put out. What is Gestalt really thinking? I feel like out of all the characters in PGR, Teddy has like the most Gen Z energy. I don't know if I can explain exactly why, but that's how I feel. No one knows the answer to that. Gestalt gives off a faint, cold glow, looming silently, completely speechless. The sudden click of a code lock breaking. The sudden click of a code lock breaking the silence as Asimov appears in the room, dark circles heavy under his eyes. Is the information trace complete? Seriously, did you even need to ask? The data wall coordinates that Luke and I tracked while deep in Gestalt, they're all in the encrypted document I just sent you. Anything new pop up? No, same old. The data walls are still a brick wall, blocking access to that secret space's core. We're only seeing a few chinks in the armor. Even though everything points to us being able to crack it open, I'm sticking to my guns. I could try to hijack it using the lower level protocol, but Gestalt's database might just activate its own defenses and take a hit. The code for Gestalt's foundational database has been lost in the shuffle for ages, but there's no telling how much damage we're talking about. Which means... if we hijack Gestalt, sure, we might just snag the tech thereafter. But there's also a good chance we could blow Gestalt's entire foundational database to smithereens. Have they made a decision yet? A rare look of concern washes over Teddy's face. Since Gestalt still can't crunch certain numbers, they're gearing up for a parliamentary vote on whether to open these data walls. Don't do it. I know they're gonna do it, but don't do it. Brainless idiots. The parliamentary vote won't be derailed just because a few tech folks are against it. The Science Council scholars pushing to open the data wall reckon they can mimic the safety protocols from the Inver device experiments by setting up an isolation zone within Gestalt. The idea is to cordon off all operations to this zone. That way, if anything goes south, they can just jettison the zone and keep most of Gestalt's modules intact. Fruits of the Golden Age. Nobody can pass that up. Especially not when they're already snagged partial blueprints of the Inver... when they've already snagged partial blueprints of the Inver device. The writing's on the wall for this one. That guy streams a lot of red prints but has no viewers. Our Luke is cooler. Oh, thank you. I don't need to stream red prints. I am a red prince. That's what my mom told me. That's not true. I don't think my mom even knows enough about my VTuber character to say that. I guess not VTuber technically yet. Oh no, he has an ego? Ah! No! I was just joking! Well, I mean, I guess I do have an ego. It's just questionable, like, how big it is. Commander Nicola's proposal... Oh wait, this is a Gestalt. Commander Nicola's proposal received 52.8% support, 35.1% opposition, and 12.1% abstentions. The proposal passes. Babylonians are buzzing with excitement, eagerly awaiting the grand unveiling of a new technological marvel. To amp up public anticipation even further, politicians have slated the data wall to open in just 2 days. Meanwhile, far from the celebratory hubbub, you, Asimov, and Teddy are holed up in a Science Council laboratory. You couldn't care less about the festivities. Your focus is on cracking open Dominic's mysterious invitation. There. That should do it. Teddy gives the last 2 screws on a peculiar machine a final tighten with her wrench, before dusting off her hands with a satisfied flourish. Have a seat and put this on. Asimov and I are hooking the invitation up to this full sensory simulation device. Then you'll be able to access the information inside. Are you sure this will work? Sure you can. Asimov inspects the terminal connected to the machine as he begins to explain. We're We're taking apart the underlying architecture of the invitation. After Teddy cracks the conundrum data lock, I keep on decoding the remaining portions. The code itself isn't rocket science. Its arrangement is all over the place with unusual boundary condition judgments. While digging through the Science Council's internal database, I stumbled upon a similar code structure pattern. This is it. The full sensory simulation device. Nanami left it behind. She made it for me to, like, play weird VR games with her. That's right. I'm looking at the code she wrote. It's a real spaghetti of complexity. Yet somehow that jumble just works. Yeah, that sounds like Nanami. Code structure for the information is practically a dead ringer for the full sensory simulation device. Asimov gives the data on the terminal one last once-over. I've run tests using the encryption keys she stashed away, and it's physically safe. I can't vouch for whether the experience is just this machine playing tricks on your mind. Alright, enough talk. Let's just give it a whirl. Patty pulls you over to the machine. Once you're inside, I'll punch in the right keys, and Asimov will keep an eye on the machine the whole time. If anything goes south, we'll yank the plug immediately. Don't sweat it. You're totally safe. I trust you. Let's go. Grey Raven Commandant. This invitation has a one-time encryption key. Make sure to jot down any info you find inside. Asimov's voice fades into the darkness as the helmet slides over your head. You're hit with a wave of dizziness. Your mind drifts into a vast, empty expanse. The silence is so profound you can only hear your own heartbeat. Where am I? You're here. A synthetic voice echoes from all directions within the dark void. You finally got the key, but the tower isn't growing anymore. Who? No need to worry. It's just a ghost floating through data space, a mere shred of history that no longer exists. Dominic? Is Dominic part of the Gestalt? But I'm not hooked up to the Gestalt. Everything's connected. You're here because something's off. Picked up on an anomaly. An anomaly? You've got the key, but the tower isn't growing anymore. Are you a time traveler? Did you mess everything up? How do you know that? What are you talking about? Is this another apocalypse thing? Which thing specifically are you referring to? Dominic seems to weigh his suspicions for a moment before speaking again. So, do you know where the advance team is? Advance team? That phrase is like a firework in my mind. A quick burst before it's gone. In that flash, fuzzy images pop up at the edge of my vision. Oh, the ominous red cube. This would appear to be a vestigial consciousness data of Dominic. Like a famous figure who used to lead the Science Council. And we've learned a few weird things about Dominic, such as that Dominic may not have been one single person. It may have been a name that was like passed on. And we also learned that Dominic was receiving information from one of the other timelines, which is why they were able to make certain degrees of progress against the punishing virus before the virus even surfaced. They knew it was coming. A madman, covered in white mist, slumped on a couch, sorting out his suicide note. Sorry, I was just looking at him. Alright, you've handled all the infected within your reach. Keep the force field equipped protective suit on. Welcome to the advanced team. I hope doing well, Trout. Our current technology has its limits. My consciousness is cluttered with too many other voices, but digitizing remains essential. You're looking for someone to take over Agent Zero's authority. I'm curious to see what possessing such power is like. First, one must shed their human form. My glitch noises scared you? Sorry. These symptoms of yours, they're remarkably similar to the effects of Agent Zero's authority. If there are no secrets about you I don't know, then it means you've eventually merged with Chaos and taken Agent Zero's place. Well, yeah, that did happen in the other timeline. Yeah, I'm trying to do like staticky, glitchy noises for like the parts that are obscured. The hazy visions gradually fade, leaving only empty darkness before me. I'm sorry, but I don't know anything about an advanced team. Even though the invitation came from Nanami, revealing what I know to someone whose identity is unclear would be unwise. So you're not a time traveler after all? But the new central purification filter core clearly has tech from way further in the future. The data ghost mutters to itself. You're Dominic. How could you not know this stuff? Dominic was never a know-it-all. Besides, it's just the echo of Dominic's consciousness, left behind before he went into Reactor 1. Where's the real Dominic? The real Dominic might still be kicking around in the fog. You just said he went into Reactor 1. The one in Reactor 1 is just the final Dominic. What a confusing way to put it. It's a pretty tangled story. Let's figure out what to share with you right now. The air hangs heavy for a moment before the voice in the void slowly speaks. Dominic leads the advanced team into the Hetero Tower. After recycling its core, he vanishes into the fog. Right, I forgot that this was happening. They're referring to Dominic as the primordial one now. And that's ominous. Through an invitation, he picks inheritors in this world. These successors, who take on the Dominic identity, throw themselves into unearthing deeper secrets within the mind and pushing back the punishing virus. But after a certain point, no messages from Dominic come through for ages. The primordial one does not sound like someone who doesn't do apocalypses. Well, in this case, Dominic is trying to help us stop it. But it still sounds weird. And I believe the reason no messages from Dominic are coming through now is because when we did our timeline reset, we cut off the connection to the other timeline. So, no one can confirm Dominic's current status. You just mentioned the fog. What kind of place is that? The fog is a space inside the Hetero Tower. A long, long time ago, Dominic left behind coordinates to a spot in the fog that could receive messages. Based on our calculations, that location should be where the Hetero Tower manifests. Now, since the Hetero Tower isn't showing up, the fog is naturally impossible to enter. Who's doing these calculations? About the Gestalts. After we discovered the Hetero Tower hadn't appeared, and Gestalt ran the numbers, the results suggest someone from the future might have reversed time, stopping the Hetero Tower from growing. Oh, who could have done that? Used to think time travelers on the advanced team had pulled it off. His voice trails off. You keep bringing up the Hetero Tower, but what even is it? That crimson spiral tower I caught a glimpse of when Lee was switching hyperreal frames. And earlier, when Vonnegut was talking about the tower. If all these towers are actually the Hetero Tower, then what kind of thing could it really be? The Hetero Tower. He seems a bit uneasy, pausing for a moment before slowly starting to talk. Doesn't really know much about it either. Dominic just mentioned that it signals impending doom. It seems to have powers that go beyond dimensions and can only be controlled with keys. The invitations? The invitations are just one piece of the puzzle. Their whole point is to wreck the Hetero Tower's core and then recycle it. For more information, Dominic himself is the only one who'd know. For some reason, when it said for more information, I felt like it was going to be like, for more information, please refer to this article. Please refer to this article about the Hetero Tower and bending time. Dominic lets out a soft sigh, and silence fills the air once more. So these invitations are just to clue me in on all this? Not entirely. This info is actually a bonus. Only loaded this invitation with extra data after realizing the Hetero Tower hadn't shown up. Yeah, for more information, please press 1 for para español, press... I don't know exactly what words they used. Originally, the invitation was simply a way to pass on knowledge. Dominic picks a spark and sends it out. Whoever catches it becomes the new Dominic, tasked with bringing humanity glory. Way down the line, they were all supposed to add their own data to this invitation, and pass it on to future Dominics. But now, would you be up for becoming the new Dominic? The digital spectre, calm as ever, slowly lays out its weighty proposition. To become the new Dominic, to embrace history's call, to sculpt a new future. And the answer? No, I refuse. That sounds shady as fuck, and like I might lose my identity. There's hardly a pause. Not out of caution or a fear of responsibility. Even if everything this entity describes rings true, you simply won't take the bait. Does this era even need a Dominic? No. Should I say... Dominic has already done what history asked. You look the ancient being squarely in the eye and speak softly. History should only serve as a warning and an inspiration. Our job now is to make our own choices and push forward. Simply carrying on the past's wishes isn't the way. The key to breaking free from our current bind lies in the present. Ah, so that's your choice. The last sentence hangs unspoken, yet Dominic gets it. The voice echoes in the void, devoid of sadness or relief, as Dominic gives a gentle nod. How does Dominic nod? It's a cube! So be it. Time's ticking, and this information will soon vanish. Hidden beneath this invitation is an information... Hidden beneath this invitation is an information black box only you can open. The last known coordinates of where Dominic's messages hit are also tucked away in the information black box. The air around them starts to subtly shake. We're hitting the wall here. Hold on. Were you the one who put up those data walls in Gestalt? Yes. What's behind those walls isn't just old Golden Age echoes. Way too much time has passed. Those data walls were falling apart. They're going to crumble eventually, even if nobody tries to open them. Think of it as the last gift to humanity. The shape lurking behind the data slowly melts away. It's time to leave. The Hetero Tower hasn't shown up. Maybe you'll see a better future. Well, that was weird. Dominic has laid it all out for me in the invitation. Invitation, Hetero Tower, the fog. Asmal joints down these cryptic terms on his terminal, connecting the dots, trying to make sense of their relationships. I don't know if we ever learned about the fog in the original timeline from Dominic. I don't know if we learned about that until we actually went into the Hetero Tower. I think I'm finally getting it. I think I'm on the same page too. First off, there's the Hetero Tower, which could be a harbinger of disaster. Its appearance is a crimson spiral tower. It most likely dates back to Dominic, the one they call the Primordial One. The Hetero Tower appears to have trans-dimensional properties, or perhaps it allows travel through time. But to control the Hetero Tower, you need keys. The invitation you're holding is part of them. The other part remains a mystery to us. So, based on what you saw, Dominic's explanation, and what Vonnegut has told us, what did you do to the tower? Ascending the tower with a mortal body? That's impossible. After we discovered the Hetero Tower hadn't appeared, and Gestalt ran the numbers, the results suggest someone from the future might have reversed time, stopping the Hetero Tower from growing. Doesn't really know much either. Dominic just mentioned that it signals impending doom. It seems to have powers that go beyond dimensions and can only be controlled with keys. Asimov is speaking in a grave tone in the dimly lit room. Hetero Tower was originally supposed to show up in this world at a specific point in time. The sudden deja vu I had during the hyperreal frame replacement flashes vividly in my mind. Was that the moment? The time the Hetero Tower was supposed to appear? Bing bing. Ding bingo, ding ding ding. Yes, indeed. It seems ever since then, my deja vu visions have been getting weaker and further from what actually happens. Whether it's the spherical forest that never appeared. Aha! So it didn't appear. I see. Whether it's the spherical forest that never appeared, Or Shorthalt's testament that I received unexpectedly. For some reason, Asimov types a lone question mark onto a blank document on his terminal. Something external messed with things, and the Hetero Tower just never showed up. Ivana gets convinced you meddled with something in the future, and Dominic's got you picked as a time traveler. So, did you actually pull some strings in the future? You mean me? How would I even do that? I say, not knowing that I did do that. But I'm just a human. But it is, because of what happened in the previous timeline, it is a little debatable if we're still just a normal human. It wouldn't even take much. A tiny bit more of that punishing virus and I'd be a goner. My whole body rotting away. Besides, if I really did something big in the future, why wouldn't I have just killed Vonnegut? Maybe because you twisted the future, not the past. Remember those war after effects we talked about in that meeting? Right before you saved Selena from the time prison. Yeah, that time that I had like a mental breakdown and I don't know why. The mind beacon went haywire because of those war after effects. Could that have been the moment your future self popped back in? In science, even the craziest ideas are fair game. Asimov just casually shuts down the conversation. But there's no way for us to prove any of this, is there? Time itself will prove it for us. His face stays hidden in the shadows, only his voice cutting through the darkness. Yeah, when is a gacha protagonist ever a normal human? Except for Fate Grand Order. It's about time. Let's kick off our investigation with the data wall. Let's see if there's really something beyond the data wall. Something more than just Golden Age relics. Oh, there is. Science Council, testing ground. Protocol decryption is complete. Initiating hijack. The giant screen projected by the terminal scrolled with the latest updates, as layers of the data wall are systematically hijacked. Hijack complete. Oh, are we getting right to breaking into the data wall? I guess that makes sense, because we probably... In the original Source Beacon chapter, Lucia and Liv got stuck in the Hetero Forest, but the Hetero Forest doesn't exist anymore. So maybe that just didn't happen in this version. And that would also mean that Teddy never fought Cradle. At the moment Teddy presses the final key, Gestalt's terminal flickers, unleashing a torrent of unknown data, with countless lost technologies cascading into the terminal's memory. Thank goodness! Wait, what is that? That, my dear Teddy, is disaster. The moment Gestalt's data wall opens, the hall plunges into darkness. Only crimson warning alerts frantically flash across the screen. Is this the same one as before? Gestalt was shortly infected when the punishing virus just broke out. Nightthought timely connected the data disk to Dominic. The data disk Dominic gave her to Gestalt, a data disk with Dominic's consciousness data. Dominic and Gestalt together sealed away the contaminating mimetic that invaded Gestalt, which led to the creation of the data wall. The entire Babylonia begins to shake in sync with Gestalt's tremors. Violent crimson lightning crackles under the alloy shell as the punishing virus seeps out. The punishing virus contracts inward, condensing into a pitch-black sphere that's no larger than a human eyeball. It looks like a dark star that can devour even light. A black hole. So, it has come to this moment after all. In the darkness, a woman gazes toward the source of the chaos, where humanity is racing against time before disaster strikes. The past remains unchanged. So once again, the arrival of the punishing begins on December 20th, 2160. The Hetero Tower never descended, and the Ascension Network. When the punishing arrived on Earth, it first targeted the cornerstone of human civilization, information itself. So it infiltrated the largest information hub of that time, Gestalt. If punishing were to take control of Gestalt, then given enough time, its mimetic contamination could seep into civilization itself, even into language. When that happens, Earth's future would be lost entirely. That's what happened in Nemo's timeline. But when the virus broke out on December 20th, that trait was stripped away by humanity. Only an empty shell remained, and that is the punishing virus humanity knows now. That's what I was talking about last time when I mentioned at one point that the punishing virus we've been dealing with in our timeline is the nerfed version. Over time, this empty shell infected countless constructs, machines, and humans, and it was gradually filled with information belonging to Earth. Bit by bit, it became Earth's own specialty, a network, Ascension Network. Dark Star is about to be released, and if it merges with the Ascension Network. Now that the Heterozone is gone, Luna, what will you do to fight against Celine? She gazes into the distance at the A1 airport, already reduced to ruins by Celine. Deep within the city where Reactor 1 is located. Is this the place? A girl in a green hood stands near the library, pale flowers clustered around her feet. She gently strokes the hetero creature there, inclining her head to catch its whispers. She then slips silently into the long-abandoned city. Oh, it did. I just don't have I don't have alerts set up yet, and the the chat overlay that I'm using right now doesn't show alerts on it, so I just didn't see it. Thanks for telling me. Thank you for the subscription. I didn't notice until you said so. Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And your message is, man, it's been 2 months. Yeah, I guess it has. Or I guess it's been a month? Because this is the start of the second month. Yeah, I'm gonna get alerts set up soon, so hopefully I can actually be notified when things happen. Yeah, I would have felt bad if I missed it, so thanks for bringing it up. This is the graveyard of a collapsed civilization. This is the story of civilizations. They fall, rise, and then fall again. There is always a pattern to follow. Standing before the shattered library entrance, she gazes up at the towering guardian robot. So, what happens next? What's my script? A gentle breeze sweeps through the grass and rustles the leaves. No one answers. What's going on? Has my script been interrupted? She's run through these lines countless times here, but no one has ever responded to her voice. Cradle squats on the ground, utterly bored, like an exhausted actor who's just wrapped their final scene. So, what now? Why isn't anyone here? What am I supposed to do? Hi, Wesley! You're still Wesleyan all day? Time is a vortex, but I'm worth the sub. Thank you. That's a wonderful compliment. In a distant room, the Merciful One watches everything unfold below. Yeah, it was actually your old name. Yeah, I remember. Because didn't you used to be Wesley's all day, every day? Or like Wesley here to slay all day? There have been a few permutations of your name, haven't there? And you, too. She flips through the pages of the Red Tides book, but beneath Cradle's name, Agent Zero is crossed out. Slaying all day every day sounds tiresome. I can see how it could be. But what if it's fun? The Hetero Tower never descended, and Agent Zero never got their hands on Cradle's body within the Red Tide. Well then, grow freely from now on. Perhaps you also represent a new possibility. Let me make it easier for you. It was Wesley's all day, then Wesley's all day and every day, then Wesley, your bestie here to slay, and now it's back to Wesley's all day. Got it. This does line up with what I remember. Yeah, because I remember, because I'm pretty sure, even before you had started showing up in my streams, I had seen you in some of Kieran's streams, and maybe some of Kira's too. You're in public, you'll put in the effort, but behind closed doors, you go in gremlin mode. Yeah. Gremlin mode is nice. Okay. Dark Star. No matter how many times it falls, there's only one moon in the world. And this will be dealing with the events of Stars Ensnared. So the Stars Ensnared chapter involves Luna, an agent of the Ascension Network and a former enemy of ours. Also, Lucia's long-lost sister. When I say it like that, it sounds like it's a, it sounds like it's a soap opera. Yes, so in Stars Ensnared, because of what just happened at the end of Source Beacon, with the stuff getting out, Luna's, kind of other half, Celine, who represents, all of Luna's hatred, snatches the authority of Agent Zero, snatches the Dark Star, and gets ready to do a bunch of bad things. So Luna basically needs to do some weird stuff to get powered up, And, yeah, she needs to do some weird stuff to get powered up, some dangerous stuff that I actually don't know how she's gonna do in this timeline. Well, I guess the red tide is still here. Yeah, so she got a power up, and then she chased Celine into the Hetero Tower and killed her, preventing things from getting a lot worse. You think this game is more dramatic than most soap operas you've seen? Well, yeah, but it's like a different kind of drama, you know? With soap operas, it's a lot of like, this person and this person have had relations behind this person's back and they're both married. Whereas like, in like, this game, it's like, you know, the world is in grave danger all the time. There's 2 achievements. Oh. Defeat Celine one more time, and Luna takes less than 30% damage under protection. Okay. Far from the safe zones, Vonnegut searches for traces of the Hetero Tower, accompanied by the newly hatched Chaos. Ever since Chaos was born, the Dark Agent has been obsessively looking for the hidden Hetero Tower deep within the earth, like a child digging for potatoes farmers missed. Yeah, she is cute, and she's deeply sad. Although I guess at this point she's not quite an empty shell, but she's not like... Although maybe, I don't know. Maybe she still has like vestiges of our consciousness from the other timeline. Because in the other timeline, we eventually merged with Chaos. So the Commandant became Chaos at one point. As expected, he hasn't had any luck. And yeah, you're right, who isn't sad in this world, except Isla? Oh, and I guess Nanami. I mean, Nanami's got her share of issues, but I'd say overall she's pretty happy. Mister, I have looked in a lot of places, just like you asked. Oh good, you're finally done cosplaying your sister for some weird reason. The 3rd basement level of the Copperfield Aquarium. It's been completely wrecked beyond recognition by a construct named Bianca. Yeah, that's my girl. The small island near the aquarium is practically clear. After Bianca and the Grey Raven Commandant left, it's as if the punishing virus was never there. Even the red tide you left to nurture Chico has completely dried up. The Puglia Forest Park ruins. That place is a complete wasteland now, mister. There's absolutely nothing left there. In Fort Winter? No signs of punishing concentration there either. Gazing into the distance, Vonnegut's expression is as still as a pond. What about the red tide? Any progress with the hetero creatures? They keep evolving. They could potentially be vessels to summon the Hetero Tower. No, mister. The hetero creature's evolution has hit a snag. Someone higher up than me has taken over their development. Most likely that girl, Cradle. She's not quite what he documented before. Her appearance hasn't changed, but she doesn't have the formidable power he expected. Hi Cole, how are you? I hope you're having a good day today. The world is getting more and more unpredictable, and none of it is good news. Maybe not for you. For me, all this shit sounds pretty good. So, what's holding back the Hetero Tower? Ever since the Copperfield Aquarium incident, he's completely lost touch with his counterpart in the tower. To avoid catching the eye of higher powers, his counterpart in the tower always plays it close to the vest when sharing information about this world. But because of that, his current self has completely lost any edge in understanding what's going on. He's like a blind man feeling an elephant, just helplessly grasping at this world. Who changed the future? Your day was very good? Ooh, sounds nice. Not just good, but very good. Glad to hear it. He probes the Grey Raven Commandant, who genuinely seems to know nothing about it. Well, I kind of know something about it, vaguely. A little bit. He also sought out Luna, but she remains trapped by the Ascension Network's crystals. Besides, she would never sacrifice herself for human civilization anyway. Who on Earth is pulling the strings from the shadows? The agent ponders for a moment, trying to come up with a plausible answer, but once again he draws a blank. Cradle went into the dead zone a few days ago, and I haven't been able to track her movements since, so... She's not worth your concern. She's nothing more than an ordinary hetero creature, incubated by the Red Tide now. Her existence is inconsequential. Yes, mister. The young man trails closely behind the agent, continuing to relay the rest of his unfinished report. As for Babylonia, Dark Star has fallen into the dead zone. Dark Star. Vonnegut stops dead in his tracks, straining to pull a word from the depths of his memory. It's that contaminating mimetic Dominic sealed away. Looks like Dominic's plan has failed as well. Containment and avoidance have never really worked against contamination. After a long, heavy silence, Lithos finally raises his head and looks at the agent, a question in his eyes. Mister? Are you leaving? I'll leave this place, but not yet. His only return ticket is still in his possession. A pale, diminutive doll is clutched in his arms. I need to embark on a long journey. He contemplates for a moment, then his decision is made in a flash. He has to find the Hetero Tower, no matter what. Once he locates it, he can use the return ticket to enter and finally put an end to all this. He doesn't know why, but this return ticket feels almost perfect this time. Yet without the Hetero Tower, all his carefully laid plans are nothing but a pipe dream. He's been stuck in this loop for what feels like forever. He needs to find a way out. The way out. With my affinity for fantasy, you think I'd love the Ren Fair? Yeah, I think that could be true. I think I'd probably be... I don't think I could ever go alone. I think I'm, like, too shy for that. But I think if I, like, went with friends, I'd have a good time. And I think it would be fun to, like, wear, you know, like, costumes with friends. I'd love to dress up as a mage. Ugh, I would love someday to get, like, a red mage, like, Stormblood outfit cosplay. Ugh, I love that outfit! And also, it would be cool if I could, like, I mean, since my first D&D character was a cleric, it would be fun to, like, dress up as a cleric. Yeah, maybe someday. You will take my place. Bring this gift to Luna and become an ascendant under her command. Only through Luna can you maintain your status as an ascendant, and when necessary, intervene with Lilith's affairs. Go to Luna, Lithos. This is your final mission. Once this mission is done, you're free to do as you please. Seek your own death, or choose to live on.
Now that I've heard Rose might still be alive, I'll stay alive. At least until I can verify it myself.
Your friends and I did axe throwing, watched a chaotic bisexual fire juggler, got blessed by the pickle priests, and your fave kingdom won the joust. Well, some of that makes sense to me. I don't know if I would want to do axe throwing. I think that I might be a little too scared to do that. Archery, on the other hand, that'd be fun. I've done archery before, I like it. Mainly because, I mean, a big ninja stars and knives. Ooh, those are a little cooler. Sorry. I mean, not that axe throwing isn't cool. I guess what I would say is I think ninja stars and knives are more my style. Yeah, I've done archery before. I enjoyed it. And I think a big reason why I enjoy archery is because it makes me feel like Zelda. Doing her light arrows. You'll stick to your axes. Yeah. I tend to prefer like smaller weapons. Probably just because I'm not very strong. Vonnegut gives Lithos' frail shoulders a final knowing pat. This could be their last goodbye. In the forest, right on the edge of the dead zone, the vegetation whispers and rustles in the cold December wind. You've grown more fond of big ones. You're tired of being a sneak thief. Let you unga bunga smash. Yeah, I think there is something fun about unga bunga smashing. But I mean, I always prefer to be a mage. So I guess for me, my unga bunga smashing would be blowing things up. So it would less be unga bunga smash and more unga bunga boom! Open the terminal. Fingers danced across the keyboard, pulling up encrypted documents. Events recorded by both Asimov and himself are connected by lines of various colors, weaving a complex web. Ooh, here's a fun question. This is a bit off topic. Well, I mean, it's on topic for what we're talking about. It's off topic for this game. Have you ever thought about like what D&D class you would be in real life? Like not in the sense of like what D&D class you most want to play, but like what if you were a D&D character, if you yourself were a D&D character, like which class you would be? I think I would probably end up as a bard. I think the artist in me is just too strong. You'd want to be a healer, Cole? Oh, I see. Or I guess you would. I guess I didn't ask what you would want to be. I asked what you think you would be. So you think you'd be a healer. I see. The invitation is the key to unlocking the Hetero Tower. Vonnegut is on the hunt for the Hetero Tower, and Dominic? He vanished into the Hetero Tower's mysterious fog. You think also Bard, Neo? You did go to art school? Yeah. Well, so healer specifically isn't a class in D&D, Cole, but there are a few different classes that can serve as a healer. The most common one is cleric. You know, they're the like divine mages, and typically, at least in 5e, they usually have like the best access to healing magic, or I guess the access to the best healing magic. But a lot of people, like if you don't have a cleric in your group, good other options for healers are druid and bard. Because bard can kind of fill a lot of different roles. They're very jack of all trades, and they do have access to some healing spells. And druid, they're like the nature mages. I think they're like maybe a little less flexible, but also more flexible in certain ways than bard. Because like I don't know if this holds up in the new rules, but I know a lot of people would play as a Circle of the Moon druid and make their druid into a tank. That was like a pretty good build. Because in D&D 5e, Circle of the Moon druids are druids who focus on shapeshifting into animals. And the thing about shapeshifting in D&D 5e is when you shapeshift, the form you change into has its own hit point total. So like you could if you turn into an animal, any damage you take as an animal is taken by your animal form, not your real form, unless you take more damage than your animal form has left, in which case the leftover damage spills over into your human form. Yeah, shout out to Halcyon. Always turning into a bear. But yeah, druids also get access to healing magic. Rangers and paladins also get a bit of healing magic, but they're more half casters. So I think turning them into like a full-time healer would probably be doable, but a bit harder. Because I think they would run out of spells more quickly. And paladins would have lay on hands for healing, but I still think it would be a bit more difficult for them than the full casters who have healing. Your current run is that of a redeemed gnome dirge dark sorcerer. Oh. You'd go for druid by that definition? Yeah, so you'd well, yeah, I guess considering your name, it makes sense that you'd want to be one with nature. Chlorophyll, plants. Yes, I would. Yes, I would like those paladins to lay hands on me gently, tenderly, lovingly, protectively. But yes. Yeah, and my first character and the class I like to play most is probably cleric. But I think if it were me as a D&D character, I'd probably be a bard. Me, a druid. I'm gonna show these bandits the true powerhouse of this cell. God, I feel like I was gonna say something else. Oh, right. And another thing. I do, in the campaign I'm playing right now, I do actually have a sorcerer who's the group's healer. Sorcerers normally don't get access to healing magic, but there is a particular sorcerer subclass, the Divine Soul Sorcerer, and that subclass gives the sorcerer access to the cleric spell list. So my Divine Soul Sorcerer takes a bunch of healing spells from the cleric spell list. So if you're a Divine Soul Sorcerer, you can actually pretty easily be a healer. Oh yeah, and I forgot about Artificer. Artificer is another class that was added later into 5e and wasn't reprinted with the new rules, but it is still an official class. Artificer also gets healing. But, well, similarly to Paladin and Ranger, Artificers are half-casters, if I remember right. But Artificers, I'm pretty sure, do get, like, a little bit more stuff that allows them to focus on healing. So I do think Artificer is, like, potentially a good option for a healer. Oh, and Artificers are basically, like, they're arcane mages who are kind of like crafter mages in a way. Yeah, they get robots, magic, and guns. They like imbue items with magic. They can like focus on making potions, magical weapons, stuff like that. They're basically like a craftsman mage. Okay, back to PGR. I can talk about D&D for a very long time. All these shifts, all these changes, they all lead back to one thing. The Hetero Tower never showed up. Do it? I will someday. I will. I will. But right now I do just want to move on with the story. I wanna try and get this done tonight, if I can. So if someone, anyone really, tweaked the Hetero Tower's manifestation from the future, when would it pop up now? And what was that future person really after? After that future gets rewritten, what's next? The fog in his mind starts to unfurl like silk from a cocoon, slowly but surely clearing. But before he can fully grasp what's happening, close the terminal. Long time no see, Grey Raven. Oh wait, long time no see, Grey Raven Commandant. Do I listen to Natural Six? No, I've heard of that one though, isn't it? Is that the one with Ben Starr, Jennifer English, and some other voice actors? I do watch Critical Role. No, I haven't, but is it good? You only listen to Stinky Dragon, so you don't know? Stinky Dragon? Is that another podcast? Listen, I feel like a lot of D&D podcasts have really good names. There's one that I haven't seen, but that I've heard of, called Rolling with Difficulty. I like that one. You went to their panel with friends, and they were doing a "Would you sleep with this D&D monster?" Oh boy. I bet that got weird. Tales from the Stinky Dragon from what used to be Rooster Teeth. I see. I haven't heard of that one. There's another one I've heard of, but I don't remember what the name is. I think I remember it being clever, though. Oh, I bet it was wild. The Beholder was deemed the ultimate cuck. Well, I guess with that many eyes, it's easy to imagine that kind of, like a Beholder's gotta have, like, some kind of voyeuristic thing going on, right? Beholders are into NTR. Moonlight spills like liquid silver, bright enough to clearly show the Ascendant nearing in the distance. Roland, in this moonlight, you look particularly fetching. But I still don't trust you. I don't care if you've got nice abs. I still don't trust you! The funniest one was someone rolled a 1 and the monster was simply called the poor. Like, poor people are the monster? That's so bad! But I guess to rich people, maybe. It was just poor people. I remember Amelia Tyler, who does the narrator voice in Baldur's Gate 3. She streamed a little bit of her own Baldur's Gate playthrough with, I think, her boyfriend. And she played like this kind of like naive, like upper class girl, and they were like in the Druid Grove, and she was like,
Oh, I hope I don't catch pregnancy from any of these children.
so that's just what that's making me think of. Yeah, her outtakes were really funny. I love those. Roland? Lee, on high alert, raises his weapon, aiming it at the approaching Ascendant. Easy there. I come in peace. I'm here to cut a deal. Honest. Roland, you should know that whenever you say honest, it just makes you sound even more untrustworthy. Roland throws up both hands, adopting an exaggerated pose of complete surrender to show he's unarmed. See? That just makes it look like you're doing a trap. I don't know if any of you have seen the show Veep. That show's not for everyone, but I enjoy it. There's a character on that show named Dan. He's like kind of the like conniving schemer type, but he's not really good at it because everybody on that show is kind of stupid. There's a moment where the main character, Selena, played by Julia Louis-Dreyfus, she says, Dan, when you try to act charming, it tends to come across as evil. And that's just what I'm thinking of right now. me saying that to Roland, the Commandant. Roland, whenever you try to act charming, it just comes across as evil. Let's hear it. With a disarmingly friendly smile, he drops a specific time. It almost perfectly lines up with when Darkstar showed up in Gestalt. What are you trying to say? That's when the Ascension Network anomaly happened. I'm guessing we're on the same page here. An Ascension Network anomaly? Yes. Beneath his friendly smile, a flicker of anxiety finally breaks through. A while back, the Ascension Network had an anomaly that completely trapped Luna. After countless struggles that tore at her very being, the long-standing shackles that bound Luna finally give way. As the crystal chains shatter and scatter, most of her power crumbles away with them. Luna? Despite not being connected to the Ascension Network, she immediately senses something is off with Luna. It was Celine. She was the noise that once belonged to Luna, a part of her that was cut away. After this static is removed and gradually becomes independent, Roland starts calling her Celine. She's coming for me. She's breathing down my neck. The Ascension Network only throws its weight behind the strongest agent, plain and simple. It couldn't care less if that's Luna or not. The instant the Ascension Network starts shifting gears, Luna feels Celine slipping away from her consciousness. Once Celine, a mere puppet of the Ascension Network, merges with Babylonia's Dark Star, the network will have no use for Luna anymore. I'll buy you some time.
Me too.
The timid mermaid shrinks behind the bushes, hesitantly raising her hand. Oh, it's been so long since we've seen Fail Girl Mermaid in action. It's not enough. You'll just gobble up my power. Luna's face drains of color, and she can no longer hold her hovering position. In the blink of an eye, since Selena merged with Dark Star, the Ascension Network has already stripped Luna of her agent privileges and handed them straight to Celine. So, what's our play now? The Red Tide. Following the Moonlight's lead, Luna bends down and scoops up the red tide gathered in a hollow on the ground. When I was tied down by punishing, I caught a glimpse of those red tide projections. That was when I realized the red tide's true purpose: to soak up the information stored within the Ascension Network. This is the only way Earth's information can be fully reintegrated into punishing. How do you even tap into the red tide's power? Egg. Luna closes her eyes, sensing the punishing within the red tide, as if she's listening to their voices. Sorry, but there's just something really funny about her response to that question just being egg.
But there isn't enough time, Luna. Didn't you say she'd be here any moment?
The information in the red tide is chaotic, but it's not random. If we could just find the one who controls the red tide's will to help us, our chances of success would skyrocket, but there's no time left. The girl's golden eyes fix on the distance. She can feel interference, a piece of her own consciousness barreling towards her. Only one moon can exist in this world. This is the only way I can get enough power, and fast. Crimson liquid drips between the girl's pale fingers as she suddenly clenches her fist. Roland, track down Grey Raven. Grey Raven Commandant? Yeah. Figure out how to get the Grey Raven Commandant here. Luna stumbles back to where she was once held captive. I'm going to use these punishing crystals to link up with the red tide and pull power from it. That'll help me bypass the filtering and get my agent powers back. During this whole thing, I need the Grey Raven Commandant to help steady my mind. Roger that. With clear orders in hand, Roland doesn't hesitate. He turns and heads out. This, team up with Lamia and find a way to channel the red tide to me. Guiding thin streams of red tide from the ground towards the punishing crystals, the girl slowly sinks into the crimson bog. I have to immerse myself in the red tide, right here. Be careful, Luna.
Futile.
There's centaurs now? There have always been.
Let the show begin.
Those monsters look really tough. Please don't notice me.
I love Lamia. Alpha deals massive damage and can efficiently eliminate unshielded corrupted. Hi there.
Give me all you got.
Here to watch a clown show.
Is that the best you can do?
Well, I wonder if she has... Doesn't look like she has Dark Flow.
hold back.
Love you, your girl and boy failures. Yeah, aren't they so fun?
Careful! Those piercings with the shield are coming!
Okay, Lamia. Roland weapons deal bonus armor piercing damage to shielded hetero creatures. Good to know. Come on.
The audience is watching.
And there.
The audience is watching.
Luna seems like she's doing fine. What? When did you get there? One broke through.
Where are you going?
Ah! Those monsters are closing in on Luna!
Oh no.
Let me hear more of the real story. The audience is watching. The audience is watching.
Give up. I won't hold back.
Ouch. Here to watch a clown.
Come on. Ugh. Nope. Get over here.
Give up. Life and death are but a...
Here to watch a clown show.
I will sever this prison of fate.
Ouch.
Luna, let's start this over. Luna, you should become the key, and I will take you to the pinnacle of the Ascension Network.
So this is how this goes in this version. They're not in the Hetero Tower, they're within the Ascension Network, I guess.
Past shall sink into silence after this day.
Ah!
Embrace your end in truth. Pointless, hypocritical beast. It ends here.
Hey Celine, eat this!
Balloon, frog, raptor. Embrace your end. You weak.
Ooh, nice teamwork pose.
Witness true power.
That was, again, like I said last time I fought a boss in this chapter, that was way easier the second time. The red tide surrounding the forest slowly pulls back. The brutal onslaught of corrupted and hetero creatures finally eases up, and the dark clouds blanketing the sky start to break apart. Everyone can finally catch their breath and turn their attention to the girl still swallowed by the red tide. Luna. When Celine shows up with her controlled hetero creatures, Roland miraculously manages to bring, or rather lure, the 4 members of Grey Raven to this spot. Even though the Grey Raven constructs don't jump into fight and just stand guard over you, who's mentally connected to Luna, having you there to stabilize Luna's mind is enough. What's the situation? Celine, meanwhile, controls countless corrupted and hetero creatures to block everyone else's advance, while she herself makes a beeline for the red tide, where Luna is submerged. It's almost over. In another part of the battlefield, Luna defeats Celine's consciousness and reclaims her agent authority. But at the same time, her own mind is ripped to shreds by the punishing. Luckily, the mind connection to her holds firm. As long as the beacon stays steady, she'll surely find all her consciousness fragments in that endless labyrinth and discover the way out. Before you can even finish speaking, the savage crimson tide surges skyward, morphing into towering waves. Commandant! The 3 Grey Raven members cautiously shield you, holding their ground. The red tide surges, but doesn't breach their defensive line. Meanwhile, the girl, enveloped by the red tide, keeps her eyes tightly shut, suspended amidst crimson thorns. I really like this artwork of Luna. The lighting is really, really good. Murky moonlight pierces through the dark clouds, instantly flooding the entire forest. She won. No matter how many times it falls, there is only one moon in the world. The red tide and the rustling forest fall silent as Luna slowly opens her eyes. Luna? The reborn girl stares up at the moonlight on the horizon, as if still lost in that endless hell. You still haven't answered my question, Luna. The Ascension Network's will is essentially information from the dead. Clusters of similar desires or emotions. It uses this information to filter for matching agents. Who knows, someone might cross dimensions and bring a second moon? I don't know, maybe. I've seen at least two or three different IPs where there's one white moon and one red moon, and the red moon has some kind of unspeakable evil sealed within. Could happen again. Luna, born from hatred, can only command information representing hatred. So, you still hate humans? Now, whose will are you standing by? Luna quietly gazes at the sky, the moonlight reflecting in her eyes. After a long while, she finally speaks. Now, I stand by no one's will. My faith and emotions belong to me alone. I simply ache for a real future. I'm using this yearning to call out to those who will follow me. Luna, her agent authority revoked, smooths away the clusters of punishing crystals. No matter what, I owe you a thank you this time, Luke. We both got what we came for, that's all. Yes, we both got what we needed. Roland already tipped her off about the conditions promised to the Grey Raven Commandant, keeping the punishing concentration in the dead zone in check and heading off the red tide spread. Even though Babylonia's new central purification filters can now create areas that are almost like safe zones, a full-blown red tide invasion would still spell big trouble. Compared to the unknown Cradle, teaming up with Luna just makes more sense and is the quicker path. And there's still that promise between us, isn't there? The girl's fingertips linger at her neck as she cracks a slight smile. I'll hold up my end of the bargain. All right. Their brief encounter is cut short by the roar of Babylonia's transport crafts. Looks like your reinforcements are about to arrive. The Ascendants quietly fall back as the single wing behind Luna's back slowly unfurls. I hope this cooperation doesn't cause you any trouble. I look forward to our next meeting. Suddenly, a roar rips through the air, and violent winds surge forth. When eyes open again, all that's left is the withered red tide and moonlight seeping into the soil. In the desolate wasteland, starlight cascades down upon the plains. Luna hovers in midair, her gaze sinking deep into the mind as she organizes the power extracted from the red tide. The voices within the red tide are chaotic and overwhelming. It's like sifting through someone else's entire life. Luna examines the past through intricate, intertwined images. Some images are picture perfect, while others are completely shattered. And some images, they're like stories she's never experienced. The one-winged girl stands calmly in the high air, looking down at a phone booth illuminated by only a trace of warm light. Oh, this moment was sad. In the original timeline, since Luna had her final confrontation with Celine in the Hetero Tower, she kind of inadvertently did a tiny bit of time travel and went back to just before the punishing virus broke out and called her mom and talked to her just one more time. Is Luna evil? Luna is ambiguous. She was straight up evil before. She's mellowed out a bit since she used to hate humanity and wanted to destroy them and make Ascendants the next evolution of humanity. She's mellowed out a bit. Part of that comes from reuniting with Lucia, her long-lost sister. And she very specifically does not hate the Grey Raven Commandant. Because who does? Another her is down there, dialing a number that should have no one to answer it. She's certain of one thing. This is something she has never done. At least for now, she has no way or means to return to the past. Carefully tucking this image away, she examines other information. It's as if she's stumbled upon something that shouldn't be seen. A white mist shrouds a corner of her mind, desperately concealing certain images. Luna shrugs off the throbbing in her mind as she pushes through a swirling white mist. Hazy scenes suddenly jump out at her from the depths of her mind. This is the Crimson Tower, piercing the clouds. An eerie red tide overflowing with strange information. And their death. Yeah, in the other timeline, all of Luna's comrades died. And then she did, eventually too. Luna quickly shoves the disturbing visions deep within her mind before her eyes snap open in the soft moonlight. Are you all right? Alpha asks, seeing her stir. Yeah, she was seeing the old timeline. Yeah, I've managed to filter out the clutter. I'll have this chunk of power from the red tide sorted out soon. What did you see? Alpha, who knows Luna inside and out, catches a flicker of something unsettling in her expression. Nothing much. It's all still pretty hazy. The girl tilts her head slightly, gazing into the distance. Out there, she knows, a spiral tower should be stretching from the earth to the heavens. Perhaps something's already changed, but it's alright. Hearing their conversation, Roland and Lamia walk over from nearby. Even if it costs me everything, I won't let that future happen. Even if the price is her own life. Specks of golden light drift down onto the quiet wasteland.
What just happened?
It's nothing. Let's get moving. Stepping through the moonlight washing over the land, the Ascendants start searching for their future in this brand new world. Yeah, so you could kind of... Well, at this point in the old timeline, they were still alive. It wasn't until far in the future that they started dying. Luna herself didn't die until like right before the timeline reset. Did Girl Failure Fish also die? Yes, she did. All four of them did. If I remember right, I think it was Roland first, then Lamia, then Alpha, and then finally Luna. The girl in green robes sits perfectly still, waiting deep in the forest. And yeah, you can kind of get a little bit from that scene with Luna after getting that power up, and how she said like she's fighting for her own future now. Yeah, she's left behind her goal of like destroying humanity. That's not her deal anymore. So you can see, yeah, she's maybe not a good guy now, but she's definitely mellowed out, and she's willing to work with us. A hetero creature tries to scramble away from her feet, but Cradle's sharp eyes catch it. She scoops it into her arms and pets it a few times, as if letting off steam. Strange. She senses that a chunk of power has been ripped right out of the red tide. Who could have done it? Her own power isn't strong enough to trace it back to the source. This girl feels unstable. She is the will of the red tide. So, I don't think she's unstable so much as completely alien. Why do I keep getting this nagging feeling that things shouldn't be this way? Also, I've said this to you many times already, Neo, but she was even worse in the other timeline. Because in the other timeline, well, so Cradle is also known kind of as Agent Zero. Agent Zero is basically like the authority of the punishing virus. But because the contaminating mimetic, the Dark Star, was sealed away within Gestalt, it took her a long time to become what she is now. In the old timeline, when the contaminating mimetic was let loose, it was also stored in there with the Agent Zero from Nemo's timeline. And that Agent Zero merged with Cradle and made her significantly more powerful and significantly crueler. The Cradle we know from our timeline, I mean, she's still evil, but she has like this kind of interest in humanity that gives her a bit of empathy for us. The other version of Agent Zero was just ruthless. Yeah, a lot has happened. A lot has happened in the last 35 chapters, and however many side stories. She furrows her brow, sifting through her thoughts. I keep feeling like someone should be coming to find me. But why hasn't anyone come? Yeah, at this point in the old timeline, we would have had like 2 different battles against her. Not this time, though. Why? Who stole my script? So yeah, she knows something's off. Uh-oh. Okay, Shaper's Ripples. This is where things went real bad in the old timeline. Shaper's Ripples was the chapter where Lucia and the Commandant went into the Hetero Tower, fought against Vonnegut and Cradle, and right on the crest of maybe bringing back hope from the tower after being in there for a long time and suffering a whole lot, they ended up 30 years in the future. Lucia succumbed to her injuries. Everything was fucked. So this is the chapter when things went really bad. Yeah, the bad end. This was like the start of the bad end. But this time there is no Hetero Tower. So what's gonna happen? Absurd hypothesis. If anyone could manage this and reach that destination, it would perhaps be this human before me, who has already created so many miracles. Okay. The wind howls violently. A biting gale scatters the dreamscape's mist. A crimson spiral tower grows clearer on the horizon. Oh wait, 1 second. Okay, I'm good now. What is that? Lucia staggers forward, pushing down the hidden pain deep within her mind. Just at the edge of her sight, a boisterous crowd gathers, their cheers echoing as they watch a figure step into the tower. No! Don't! Lucia's pupils shrink to pinpricks as an unshakable terror grips her chest. Commandant, don't go in there. It's dangerous inside. Oh, right, and, in this timeline, Lucia has already herself had some premonitions about what happened in the bad end. The crowd remains jubilant, their cheers never faltering, as they wait for their hero's triumphant return. A twisted fissure opens its pitch-black maw, patiently waiting for its prey. Oh, I gotta tell you, Neo, if you want to know, like, just how bad Shaper's Ripples got, I think that chapter of this game is, the only time to date that I have ended up full-on sobbing on stream. When Lucia died, I was not okay. I had to do my voice acting through a bunch of crying. So, hopefully that should tell you something about how bad Shaper's Ripples was. how bleak. Also just kind of insane. Even if they did do like a timeline reset and bring her back, kind of insane to like kill off your kind of main character. I mean, technically the Commandant is like the main character, but the Commandant isn't like one of the playable characters exactly. Lucia is like the main construct, I guess. Although I do feel like this game really leans on more of an ensemble cast. Because usually the story, like each story chapter just focuses on whichever construct is getting a new frame in that version. No! No! Cold sweat beads on her forehead as Lucia bolts upright in the experimental chamber. What's wrong? I saw the Crimson Tower. She clutches the human's hand in a tight grip. I saw so many images. But these are scenes she's never seen before. An unseen scene, never before seen. She's never laid eyes on a crimson tower or purple spherical forests, nor has she ever heard the term clean zone. The dream's scenes are like rock layers eroded by Babylonia. Touched by the wind, they instantly crumble to sand. The rest, it's a blank. The tower. The tower again. Both Hyperreal and Pyroth saw visions of the tower during frame adaptation. If this is the hetero tower Dominic mentioned, why did only these two see it during adaptation? Because they're the two that went in. You push those questions aside for now, and head to the back laboratory to check on the Pyroth frame with Asimov. Is there anything unusual with the Pyroth frame? Nope. The mind fluctuations from this frame transfer are all within acceptable parameters. Something's bothering you. Lucia told me she just saw the tower too. If it's not mind fluctuations, then why? Asimov falls into deep thought for a moment. If the absurd hypothesis is actually true, then it's possible that both of these frames have, to some degree, formed a connection with the hetero tower. Asimov opens his terminal and pulls up an encrypted document with records on the hetero tower. What makes the Hyperreal frame truly stand out is its incredible computing power. When it's running at full tilt, it can actually transcend time and dimensions. If the absurd hypothesis holds true, the Hyperreal frame might have inadvertently snagged information fragments during these high-capacity operations, pieces from the past, or maybe even glimpses of the future. After all, we've never fully grasped Punishing's capabilities, or how it stores information. Therefore, what the Hyperreal might have captured is information preserved by Punishing. Data that simply doesn't belong to this reality. That's right, Asimov says, turning to quickly check the data from both Pyroth frames before continuing. As for the Pyroth frame, its power source is a modified Omega core. The carrier for this core is that egg, which uses technology from the Heteromer shard, and the modified Omega weapon to create it. An egg that Lamia brought out from the cradle of Deep Blue and gave to the Grey Raven Commandant. Shards that fell from Chico's body after her death, containing technologies that don't belong to this era. This setup allows the Pyroth frame to continuously draw energy from Punishing, letting it function without needing sleep, just like an ascendant. This frame had a tough test naturally. As the official frame transfer occurred, I suspect Lucia accessed information from Punishing during the transfer. Whether this information from Punishing is from the past or the future, only time will tell. In a way, you could say it's both, or neither. Asimov finishes his report, taking the printed documents into his hands. Given its many functions and groundbreaking technologies, I've asked for a stability period of at least 3 months to make sure everything runs smoothly. Think of it as a precaution. If any anomalies crop up during this period, contact me directly.
I will. Okay, good night, Neo. I hope you sleep well.
You put away the frame report and open the lab door to find Lucia waiting outside, now in her pyroth frame.
Commandant.
Lucia still seems on edge. The moment she sees you emerge, she clutches your arm tightly.
It's all right now, Lucia.
Yes, I know. Even though she's safe in Babylonia, she just can't shake the feeling that danger's lurking around every corner. May we stop whatever the next apocalypse is? Yeah, here's hoping. But we gotta deal with this one first.
Let's head back to the lounge.
Lucia doesn't say a word. She just gives an obedient nod, but her hand stays glued to your arm, refusing to let go. Grey Raven Lounge. It's a rare moment without any missions, and both Lee and Liv are in the lounge. Liv's busy maintaining her levy gun, while Lee polishes your sidearm. I say again, Liv, we gotta get you a new frame. You've been in the Eclipse frame since launch.
Hey, Commandant, Lucia, you're back. Lucia, are you alright? Something go wrong during frame transfer?
And allegedly, Liv should be getting a new frame very soon. I would assume that they've teased her getting a new frame. I mean, I don't know if they ever directly said that it was her, but it looked like her. And they've said in these recent couple chapters that Liv is getting a new frame worked on. I personally expect that she's going to be the next anniversary construct, which I believe the anniversary for the Chinese server will be in December. So that's actually probably not that far away. Probably only like 2 patches from now, maybe. Maybe even just 1, depending on when they do it. But yeah, so Liv should be getting a new frame very soon. Noticing Lucia's troubled expression, Liv walks over, concern etched on her face. Lee puts down the sidearm and moves closer too. Nothing too serious. Casually closing the door, you gesture to Lee. He instantly gets it and starts checking the room's security and privacy measures. Once everything's locked down, all 4 of you gather around and take a seat. Lucia's frame transfer isn't just a blur. She also sees the tower. Man, I wonder if Liv feels like the odd one out here, since she's the only one who never entered the tower at all. So she's the only one who's not having these, like, flashbacks, probably. Asimov thinks you might have tapped into information embedded within Punishing. As you repeat Asimov's theory, Lee's expression turns grave. If Asimov's theory is correct... Lee's brow furrows deeply as he starts to recall. After my frame transfer, during a field mission, I pushed my frame to its absolute limit. My mind went into overload. That's also when I saw that tower. Oh. He pauses, lost in thought. Back then, I seemed to have picked up other information too, but it's buried deep in my mind. I've tried to dig it up a few times, but it's like chasing smoke. No trace of it. That dead zone number can't be right. The Hetero Tower isn't located there. The loop's been broken. Time for you to go. Later, I tried to get that vision back while connected to the Commandant, but no dice. Probably hit a wall with computing power. So, what exactly is this tower?
Well, Asimov thinks it's this.
Hetero Tower, invitation, key. These strange, obscure terms just drift through the minds of all three of you present. I think Asimov's theory is highly plausible. Even though that theory sounds absurd and hopeless. If anyone could manage this and reach that destination, it would perhaps be this human before me, who has already created so many miracles. You can't even imagine what hardships and suffering you would have to endure if you really did keep going down this path. Lucia clasps her hands together so tightly that her synthetic skin actually dimples under the pressure. Her fleeting memories have dissipated with each frame replacement, yet a soul-piercing sorrow still remains. What exactly made her so sorrowful? She refuses to dwell on it. It's okay. Everything is changing. Ever since the Copperfield Aquarium, those feelings of deja vu have only existed within that blurred field of vision. He doesn't know why the girl named Chaos never appeared again, but those faintly emerging images have indeed never been verified since. Whether it's the Crimson Tower or the Spherical Forest. Commandant. Liv anxiously slides a cup of hot tea toward her. Don't worry. No matter what, we'll face it together. Right, I get it. A small gash appears on her synthetic skin. Lucia quickly wipes away the vital fluid, keeping any signs of trouble hidden from human eyes. I'm sure it's going to work. No matter what happens, she will protect you. No doubt about it. Reactor 1. This used to be a thriving town, with research facilities popping up all over, drawn by the prestige of housing the first zero-point reactor. On December 20th, 2160, punishing virus burst forth from the activated zero-point energy reactor, transforming this place into one of the areas with the highest punishing concentration on the surface. Actually, come to think of it, is December 20th the anniversary for the Chinese server? No, it was December 5th. December 5th, 2019. So yeah, I guess if it is December 5th, 2019, it could be next patch that we get a new live frame. A lot of people have been speculating what kind of frame she'll be. I mean, a lot of people assume that she's going to be an amplifier. The two amplifiers that people are thinking are going to be replaced soon, because I think at this point they're still the oldest, are Isla Kaleido and number 21 Barrel. They're an ice amplifier and a lightning amplifier, respectively. So people are thinking Liv's new frame is going to be either an ice amplifier or a lightning amplifier, and I think it would make a lot of sense if she was an amplifier for the radiance effect. And I would love that. Give me more radiance constructs. Cradle once stopped by here, but she never found the story she was hoping for. Since Cradle left, the library, which had briefly come alive due to the arrival of hetero creatures, has once again fallen silent. Grass stems snap underfoot with a faint crackle as the Dark Agent pays a visit, carrying his return ticket. Back then, is this where Dominic vanished? A voice from deep within his mind poses this question. Yes. 0 Point Reactor 1 is right by that library. After the punishing outbreak, Dominic led a team to shut down 0 Point Reactor 1. Not a single one of them made it back, but the reactor? It was definitely taken offline from the inside. The agent's gaze is fixed, unblinking, on the ravaged library in the distance. With the library looking like this, completely abandoned, is 0 Point Reactor 1 actually still running? You bet it is. Stuff built in the Golden Age isn't going to crumble after just a few decades of bad weather. He strides past the library, weaving through streets and alleyways. Most of the buildings on the surface got wiped out by mechanoids and constructs infected with punishing. 0 Point reactors are usually buried deep underground, so as long as no one's gotten here before us, the basic setup should still be good to go. Oh right, he was planning to restart it. He passes a hospital, crosses a bridge, and walks by a string of completely empty trash cans. Here. Following the faded street signs, he finds the central power facility. Clearly, whoever evacuated this place made sure to cut the power of the entire city. Done. For Vonnegut, cracking into the terminal and bringing the city's power back online is a piece of cake. The moment he hits that last key, the entire city jolts awake from its slumber. But right on cue, high concentrations of punishing surge through all the newly powered machinery. Countless machines, their red warning lights flashing frantically, start to roam aimlessly through the streets. They're like demons on a night patrol, kicking up a ruckus amidst the cold, desolate ruins. It's really buzzing in here. The agent strolls along, parading right alongside the corrupted, making the way to the ultimate destination. Are you sure this will work? Nemo still looks worried. I'm not sure, but it's the only shot we've got right now. We've got to find someone to step into Agent Zero's shoes. Otherwise, if Agent Zero comes down to Earth and no one's ready, this world will be swallowed whole by the contamination too. His tone is grave, and Nemo just goes quiet. Besides, the tower is definitely coming down. Nemo only got here through a gap in Constellia's Hedera Tower during the punishing outbreak. If the tower truly vanishes for good, Nemo will likely vanish right along with it. Since Nemo still exists, maybe you burst into this world back then because 0 Point Reactor 1 fired up, which is also what set off the punishing outbreak. So, perhaps the tower can come down here again the moment 0 Point Reactor 1 restarts. Trout calmly swats away a stumbling corrupted charging at him, not a single muscle in his face twitching. So, we still don't know why the tower hasn't come down? It's because of the Grey Raven Commandant. How can you be so sure? I can't be sure. but it has to be the Commandant. Before I came here, I went to see Luna, but she didn't know anything about it.
My god, this guy is still so obsessed with me.
And the other agent wouldn't be interested in saving Earth. Her desires lie elsewhere.
That lady is more than eager to see the rules broken, rather than things proceeding along a straight path.
The information previously passed, Cradle seemed to be a very important character. But now, she's just a hetero creature, a vessel for the Red Tide's will. To the agent, this Cradle is indistinguishable from the hetero-humanoid twins he once nurtured.
I don't know about that.
All signs point to one conclusion. The suspect can only be the Grey Raven Commandant, who's constantly meddling with their operations. No matter what, the tower can't fall into anyone else's hands, especially not humans. It's as if he's talking to Nemo, yet also reminding himself. The agent's voice is barely a whisper, so faint only he can hear it. Only this way can this long journey finally conclude. He's been repeating this chaotic, excessively long dream for far too long. He became a jumbled mess, given a new identity by a mask. As time goes on, these identities fuse with his very being, eventually settling deep within his consciousness. Vonnegut. After the chaos erupted, he once again tries everything to cut out the static noise in his consciousness, but doing so also damages his mind. It was then that he suddenly discovered the Red Tide's origin shares similar traits with the chaos contamination. Nothing's over yet. Only by completely controlling the Hetero Tower can he achieve his purpose. Passing through a park and circling a ruined school, the agent slowly repeats his plan to himself. Even though the punishing virus is nowhere near as bad as the chaos contamination from your era, if the punishing virus concentration gets too high, it could attract the contaminating mimetic, Agent Zero. Contamination from Nemo and Vonnegut's timeline, similar to the punishing virus, but more dangerous. My other self in the tower sent me that theory back when we could still communicate. Wouldn't just letting the Red Tide keep growing do the same thing? Yes, but don't you think that'd take forever and be a total drag? A smile, undeniably Kilgore Trout's, spreads beneath his mask. Come on, Vonnegut. At the edge of the dead zone, all 4 members of Grey Raven are geared up and ready to go, with only Asimov there to see them off. You coming with us to Zero Point Reactor 1 too? For this mission, you're trying to push deep into Zero Point Reactor 1. An execution squad that wandered into the dead zone just reported in. Power's back on in the city around Zero Point Reactor 1. Zero Point Reactor 1 is one of the places with the highest concentration of the punishing virus. So far, Grey Raven is the only squad capable of handling a mission like this. If I try to enter with you, Babylonia's staff will drag me back to the Science Council before I can even get inside. Asimov pulls a terminal-sized case from the box next to him. You forgot to bring this. The key? The key. Even earlier, before Lucia got her pyro frame, you traveled to Aerospace City with Liv. You were there to help smooth things over between humans and machines. As the mission wraps up and you're about to leave, Cervantes, who says he's part of the Church of Machina, hands this to you. The key. This is a new key to activate the invitation. It's also a message Sage left behind. Ah, okay. So this probably means the event of Soaring Beyond still happened? Sage told me this key is just a replica, because of certain circumstances. It still works, but it has its limits. Sage mentioned that for modifications, it'd need an interface compatible with standard terminals. She seemed to prefer the old design, but she still let Xavier make the changes for human use. Back in Babylonia, you press the key into Asimov's hand, but take it with you. Asimov shoves it right back. But the tower never shows up. You're left with both the invitation and the key. But what good are they when the tower has vanished into thin air? It might come in handy. What do you know? I don't know anything. Hey, stop being so cryptic. The only intelligence I have is that Vonnegut might be near Reactor 1. With those final words, Asimov turns and heads back to the transport vessel without so much as a goodbye. Might be. But the mission briefing didn't say anything about... The transport vessel shudders as it lifts off, kicking up a storm of dust and sand across the desolate landscape. The Commandant gives up on trying to contact Asimov for more answers, and turns to see the other 3 Grey Raven members making their final battle preparations. Commandant, the dead zone is a death trap. Once we're in, stick to me. Lucia grips her sword hilt, her expression deadly serious. Don't sweat it too much, Lucia. It's not every day we go on a mission like this together. Liv has just finished checking their supplies and approaches. Supply check complete, Commandant. Are they really sending Liv in there in just her Eclipse frame? Is she gonna be okay? This is another reason why we need to get her a new frame. No unusual activity detected nearby. The new filtration systems in the safe zone are humming along normally. Looks like all potential threats are cooped up in the dead zone. Once we step foot in there, we'll need to be on high alert. Lee scans the surrounding area before clicking the scope back into his sniper rifle. Alright, let's roll then. Twilight flames rage across the plains as Grey Raven assembles and pushes into the dead zone. Is there gonna be like another branch? Or is this because this is where things fully diverge? Because up until now, things have, kind of followed a similar thread, but with different details. At this point, it's possible that, this is where things, reach the point where they have to fully diverge. Well. Endless fog. Endless white fog fills Lucia's vision. Let me check how long the rest of this chapter is supposed to take. Okay. Maybe another hour and a half, it seems like. I'm good to keep going. White fog. Endless white fog fills Lucia's vision. Commandant? They've entered the dead zone, and Lucia is out front. Her Plyroth frame is a lifesaver here, able to metabolize the punishing virus, while Lee and Liv hang back, covering the Commandant. Oh, so that's why Liv and I can come in here. Lucia can't pinpoint when it began, but this thick white fog now clings to her like a bad dream. Lucia. Your position. Off course. At first, she could still pick up their comms. Even tried to adjust her coordinates to get back on track. At some point... a persistent, buzzing hum is all that remains on the channel, no matter how hard she tries to connect. Liv? Lee? Commandant? No one answers. Lucia's hand goes to her blade, drawing it in a vigilant manner. The metallic ring echoes, the only sound in this fog-bound world as she cautiously explores the edges of this space. As she moves forward, strange structures emerge at the very limit of her sight, like bizarre fallen giants sprawled across the ground. This can't be 0 Point Reactor 1. She saw what that city looked like in the mission briefing. So this city... what is this place? Oh, this is Constellia. A city... She tries the communication channel again, but there's still no response. Lucia puts away her terminal and decides to steer clear of the city until she has more information. But the next moment, she suddenly finds herself stepping onto the city streets. She immediately spins around, only to find the path she came from now, completely engulfed in thick white fog. Is the city moving, or is this place not even real? Lucia tentatively swings her blade at the white fog. The cold flash of her blade parts the fog significantly, but in the blink of an eye, it gathers once more. Without a doubt, she can no longer return the way she came. Might as well try moving forward. Oh god, what's happening? We're in unknown territory now. With her blade held vigilantly before her, she slowly ventures into the unnaturally dazzling city. The first street has no one in sight. Only the red tide covers the ground, making its way through the fog-strated street. Yeah, I figured, but this confirms that it's not just Constellia, it's the version of Constellia that they encountered within the fog in the tower. The second street also has no one in sight. A few crimson butterflies flutter gracefully through the air. The third street. Two almost transparent figures are intensely discussing something. Once we enter the Inver Hetero Tower, we head deeper to look into everything. The mysterious tower in main story Spiral of Kronos that initially only the hyperreal frame was allowed to enter. Lee had gone through long exploration and sacrifice in the tower before finally changing the red core that brought the disaster, giving it the power to purify the punishing virus like an Inver device, hence the name Inver Hetero Tower. Whether it is a hetero tower or not, the time inside and outside is different. No matter how long you have spent in it, when you are back in reality, the time of the real world is determined by the deviation at the exit. If the deviation is low, then for the outside world you have only gone for a very short time. The key can change your arrival time in the real world to some extent. Though that doesn't matter to us now, because there is no Inver Hetero Tower in this timeline. Over time, we've realized the tower can send messages to my past self. But this only works for me as a construct, and only if that past self is infected does the message actually get through. The Pyroth frame stands out because it can read the punishing virus. Based on the intel we dig up in the tower, you theorize that the punishing virus itself has fourth dimensional traits. The Inver Hetero Tower's ability to observe and interfere with time hinges precisely on this characteristic. We're trying to leverage this power to change the past, like preventing the conservation area from missing its relocation that night, or stopping the disaster at Puglia Forest Park, and everything that followed with Liv. The ghostly figures suddenly freeze for a split second. In that moment of Lucia's heightened awareness, their previously jumbled words snap back into focus. Or even further back, like something that went down during the Kowloon Metropolis battle. But most of those ideas just don't pan out. Some barely make a dent, and others make things even worse. The people we try to save get ambushed on their way, and the backup we call in always shows up too late. Suddenly, you said with a confidence that the tower was acting strange. Then, you used the key to intercept every message sent to the past, erasing all the changes we had made. Invitation from the activated Dominic. As the name is too long, the Grey Raven Commandant suggested calling it the key after entering the Hetero Tower. Through a hazy mist, she clearly sees herself and the Commandant deep in conversation. The Commandant's responses are barely audible, but her own urgent voice cuts through with perfect clarity. Is this some kind of hallucination created by the city? She tries to approach the two phantoms, but they don't attack. Instead, they silently fade into the street. What's happening? She breaks into a run. The 4th Street. A strangely familiar pale girl and another known as Cradle are locked in fierce combat. Cradle? The Cradle before her is clearly not the seemingly harmless hetero creature girl she knows. Her attacks are relentless as she masterfully manipulates the red tide in her battle against the pale girl. Got you. Finally. Just as she catches the pale girl, her opponent tears open Cradle's chest. A strange fruit is placed in her wound. You put it inside me so you could share the Agent Zero's authority, right? Vonnegut, it looks like you finally made some progress. Congrats. But you made it way too obvious. At least let me stay in the dark a bit longer before catching on. Smiling, Cradle presses her fingernail into her wound and digs out the fruit that hasn't yet fused with her body. There's still a bit of residue left that I can't totally clean off, but this ought to be enough to handle you. The 5th Street. The pale girl holds up a small transparent box, offering it to the Commandant. Inside, an apple-shaped fruit gleams. Lucia hears the Commandant address the pale girl as Chaos. It's part of a hetero creature's memory. Cradle's been itching to get your memories. If you go ahead and eat it, she might just end up swallowing both it and you together. If all goes according to plan, this fruit will fuse with Cradle, making separation almost impossible. That way, I can keep her in check and stop her from freely controlling the red tide. It's connected to the Inver Hetero Tower, so it won't change even if time is reversed. Whatever happens, good or bad, sticks around, much like recovering old data, unless she manually wipes it out. But if you swallow this fruit, you're guaranteed to die. No human can survive taking in a hetero creature's memory like that. Commandant! She rushes forward, but it's no use. She can't stop you from accepting the box. What's happening? Why isn't she by the Commandant's side? The vision instantly dissipates, and Lucia takes off like a shot. She has to see how this story plays out. No, girl, don't look. It's not gonna be good. It's not gonna end well. The 6th Street. I'm sorry. so sorry. A needle, made of some unknown material, pierces the Commandant's heart. Cradle. That should be enough, right? Commandant! She almost forgets this is just a vision, her hand instinctively going for her blade as she charges forward. All she sees is the Commandant swallow the fruit, and then they leap down into the red tide surging before them. Commandant! She collapses to her knees, her mind a complete blank. The source of her sorrow and pain during frame transfers becomes crystal clear. Right here, countless times, over and over again, she lost her Commandant. After her mournful cry fades, Lucia slowly gets to her feet, leaning on her blade for support. These are all just illusions, she mutters to herself, crimson bleeding into her eyes. The 7th Street. As her feet touch the ground, she rounds the corner of 7th Street, and suddenly the surroundings shift once more. Crimson butterflies gracefully settle into the elevator's blind corner. Move back! In the dim, unfamiliar floor, the red tide roars forward, shattering the corridor in an instant. The construct beside her slams the elevator's close button, and the doors shut just before the red tide surges in. The next second, the elevator trembles violently as the tide crashes against it, threatening to give way. We're almost at the surface. Let's get out of here first. At least we have the password. We can discuss everything else once we're safe. Yeah, butterflies. But these are dangerous butterflies. The outburst of the punishing virus opened a hetero tower rift on some floor in Constellia. Lucia and the Grey Raven Commandant got a temporary password in a previous battle, and will soon be able to return to the Inver hetero tower through the rift. Inside the elevator, Lucia is talking with the Commandant beside her. I can probably do better. Clang! Yeah, that was better. A massive impact strikes the bottom of the elevator, and the doors let out a piercing shriek of tearing metal. It's the hetero creatures. They're attacking from below the elevator. Commandant, get out through the top! No, don't! She can already see the malice of the red tide surging toward them. Commandant, go up with them first. I'll hold these guys back. Don't go up there. But hetero creatures emerge as the red tide in the elevator is already up to their legs. The human immersed in it can only meet with decay and death. Commandant. She runs forward desperately, but is powerless to stop the human from climbing upward. Well, hello there, Grey Raven Commandant. I was in the red tide all along. How could Lucia possibly find someone made of the red tide within the red tide itself? In moments of extreme anger, the voice module fails to produce sound. She watches helplessly as the human body is torn apart by the red tide. Just as victory appears within reach. Cradle? The Lucia, still fighting desperately in the elevator, seems to hear her rage, slowly stilling and looking up at the crimson spreading downward. She knows exactly what those are. It's like a hall of mirrors inside the elevator, reflecting a crimson inferno. How many times have she and the Commandant repeated this cycle of death? How many times have they gone through such painful separations? No, don't give up! Lucia leaps forward, plunging into the elevator covered in red tide and blood. No matter what! She seems to have merged with the figure of Lucia standing in the corridor. I will not give up! Her pyro katana carves a fierce arc of light, nearly sparking against the air itself. Her blade slashes upward, the red tide cascading down its spine as the white mist recedes in waves. Everything around her melts away under her relentless assault. The 8th Street. The white mist thins a bit, and Lucia flips her blade, then sprints forward. Her blade's gleam rips through space, threading the pale mist. She doesn't hesitate anymore, cutting down every phantom in her path. She cleaves through Vonnegut as he steps into the hetero tower and slashes apart Cradle, reborn in the red tide. As her blade pierces a hetero creature's chest, she hears Cradle's schemes. When her edge slices into Vonnegut's neck, she witnesses the conversation between the agent and Nemo. The mist swirls and clears, yet Lucia pushes on through this strange space. Days might have passed, perhaps months, or even years. Power from her Omega Core still sustains Lucia, but her mind has grown so weary that only emptiness remains. This is the song that they played when Lucia died. Getting me in the mood again a little bit. It sucks, because it's like such a happy little cute song, but now it will forever be associated with despair. Commandant. Faintly, through the gaps in the white mist she had scattered, a familiar silhouette appears at the edge of her vision. Commandant? It's the Grey Raven Commandant silhouette. Specks of golden light scatter through the mist, as if paving a path toward hope. Gripping her pyro katana tightly, Lucia rushes forward in pursuit. The 9th Street. A sliver of a moon hangs in the sky, casting a cold, indifferent gaze upon the world below. Lucia steps forward tentatively, bracing herself for the familiar, disorienting lurch that signals another shift in reality. The silhouette she knows so well appears, but it's thinner now, standing before a gravestone. Commandant! She tightens her grip on her pyro katana and lunges forward without hesitation. Suddenly, the white mist dissipates, vanishing into thin air. She saw us in the future after she died. They're surrounded by desolate ruins, the landscape littered with the corrupted, fallen enemies of Grey Raven, piled high on the other side of the road. The figure she'd been chasing through countless illusions is now safely by her side, their gaze filled with concern. Are you alright? Commandant! Lucia instinctively pulls you closer, her hands meticulously checking every seam of your protective suit. No issues. Absolutely nothing wrong. You are the Commandant. Her Commandant. The Grey Raven Commandant. Not injured, Not consumed by a hetero creature fruit. Not killed by Cradle. Not assimilated into the red tide. Is something wrong with your frame? As Lucia reconfirms your safety, her agitated mind finally begins to settle. You started feeling unwell after we entered the city with Reactor 1. What happened? She suddenly realizes only a moment has passed since she first stepped into the hallucination. No forking paths, no white mist, no illusion. Just a single step. Yet it felt like she'd lived countless ages. Did your frame download something from the punishing virus? Lucia opens her mouth, then closes it, not sure where to even start. In the hallucination downloaded from the punishing virus, she saw countless fragments she'd previously dreamed of during standby mode. Pyroth frames locked in battle, a crimson spiral tower, a space thick with white mist. The scattered nightmare fragments are now pieced together into more complete visions, but if she speaks them aloud, will they somehow become real? I'm sorry, Commandant. It's been ages since we fought together. I've missed this feeling, so I'm a little on edge. She lied. She doesn't want you to share the burden of this endless cycle of death and suffering. These nightmares truly manifest. She wants to bear all the calamity herself. She wishes for you to be safe, to return safely to Babylonia, complete mission safely, to safely walk toward the future, even if that future no longer has her. But we've been to a future without her, and it was awful. Oh, I'm tearing up again a little bit. Oh. Lucia is lying. The Commandant's sharp eyes immediately pick up on Lucia's tension. She insists she's fine, over and over, then abruptly changes the subject. She mumbles an excuse about helping Lee install a simple virus filter, and walks away. What did Lucia just read? Flashes of deja vu moments ripple through your mind, but none quite fit what's happening now. Even after entering the city where the 0 Point Reactor 1 is located, nothing out of the ordinary has appeared. What could Lucia have seen? Lost in thought, you suddenly notice Liv waving. Commandant, we've located the number 1 0 Point Reactor. Just like the blueprint Babylonia left us. It's over there, beneath that abandoned library. Alright. Vonnegut rematch. Predestined ending. I will wait for the day when this world once again falls into its eternal predicament, heading toward that same destruction. We've got all Grey Raven here with us. Defeat Vonnegut one more time. Get rescued by Liv less than 5 times. Okay. Time to kick some butt. The library, now once a symbol of civilization, now welcomes unwelcome guest. What a coincidence. Grey Raven Commandant. The agent's golden eyes are betraying the insincerity of his words. What a coincidence. Can we skip the charade? Vonnegut asks as a golden force field slowly materializes from his hand. I assume you already know why I'm here. I will stop you. You have absolutely no idea what you're doing. His voice is deep and grave. There's still time. Are you sure you won't cooperate with me? Let's hear what you have to say. Your expression betrays you. You're just trying to coax my plans out of me. I should have just dissolved you into the red tide when I had the chance. It's too late for regrets. Now I'm here, and I have a gun. And I know I can't hurt you that bad, but my 3 friends here can. Whatever Vonnegut's plan might be, his sudden appearance at 0 Point Reactor 1 doesn't bode well. Vonnegut scoffs, a cold laugh escaping him as he suddenly unleashes his force field. Lucia's pyro katana is drawn. She blocks the attack with the flat of her blade, but as the dust settles, the agent has vanished. He's heading for Reactor 1! Stop him! Ooh, okay, let's go.
I'll protect everyone. Vonnegut.
You're fully aware.
That's exactly why we have to stop.
It all amounts to nothing.
Uh-oh.
Sunblade!
Don't escape my sight!
Rise and fly high!
Take this!
Seems like you are still full of us. Just as I thought. There's never.
What's that? What?
Lucia, do you remember now? How's one supposed to avoid it? An oath changes nothing.
That's what you think.
Gather Sunblade! Raven's Light! Raven's Light! Severed Knight! Let the Lotus bloom!
Parting to life and farewell to death.
What?
Existence and demise. Even
Oh,
so, still choose to charge ahead.
How?
no. Wait, hang on. I'm gonna restart. Wait, no. I'll watch. Lucia, wake up. This must not be our end. Lucia, we need to keep moving forward together. I wasn't finished.
Impossible.
Lucia!
Only the victor shall live to see how this will.
Okay, I'm safe this time.
Like I said, whatever Commandant says, that's what I'll strive for!
Oh.
After all, this ending.
Golden light suddenly converges. Vonnegut stands in the heart of the ruins, his body riddled with wounds. After all, this ending was... He 22 was much easier the second time. But that was still a really cool way to do that. Inevitable. He saw this end coming a long, long time ago. The library framework battered from the fight, but at a sickly, groaning creak. You lost. Yes, I've lost. But I still have to warn you. The agent's face twists into a horrifying sneer. The only way to deal with the punishing is to cooperate with me. The Hetero Tower is bound to descend. When Agent Zero arrives with it, and humanity is caught completely off guard, it will be the end of this world. His tone is absolute, as if he's seen that possibility play out countless times. But the Hetero Tower never came down. The Hetero Tower never came down, and the so-called Agent Zero never descended from the heavens like a witch on her tower, bringing disaster and suffering in their wake. Plants keep growing, stars still twinkle in the sky, and gentle breezes continue to carry distant scents. That future is destined to happen. The uncontrolled punishing converges into trickles, coiling around the agent's body. He grows increasingly weak, barely able to stay on his feet. Perhaps you can change the result once, even twice. The steel framework of the ruins creaks and groans. But I'll be waiting. With his last ounce of strength, he swings his arm, suddenly directing his residual power at the already tottering dome of the ruins. I will wait for the day when this world once again falls into its eternal predicament, heading toward that same destruction. Commandant! The three Grey Raven members dash forward, shattering the large chunks of stone and metal fragments hurtling toward them. Vonnegut! As the dust settles, the agent is nowhere to be seen. I'll stop him! Lucia hounds the punishing's trail, following it deep into the library's underground. The red tide still churns in areas the basic virus filters haven't reached. She cuts down several hetero creatures spawned from the contagion, then wades through the blood-red corruption. There, she spots the agent's dark form. He's sprawled motionless at 0-point Reactor 1, utterly still. He's dead. The red tide surges, and points of golden light flicker within it. Lucia's blade is out in an instant. But the next moment, she freezes solid. Countless memories, like scattered stardust, flood her mind. Her nightmare comes true in the cruelest way imaginable. In that moment, she sees endless pasts. Let's go, Commandant. Commandant. Is this all that's left for us? Come on. The key. Countless deaths of Luke. And even more, her death. I can't watch you die again. I'll do this even if it means going against your orders, and you won't be able to stop me. Not when you're hurt. She hears herself saying it. She sees herself trapped in a long prison, stuck before a rift. She watches them finally leave that tower of calamity, at last moving across the surface, until the dawn arrives. Please look, Lucia. See how you bid farewell to Commandant in the wilderness. Please look, Lucia. See how Commandant walks alone through the wind and snow 30 years later. Do you see it now, Lucia? Commandant never gave up hope, never stopped lighting the torch, always walking toward the radiant light. Do you see it now, Lucia? Even drowning in the red tide and buried beneath the sea, Commandant would still bring back the first light of dawn to your side.
It's time.
The pallid maiden murmurs in a distant tongue.
Memories. I'm giving them back to you.
She sinks silently into the red tide.
Commandant!
Lucia's mind is still caught in a hazy dream, but her body is already running on autopilot. She's moving with powerful strides, hurtling toward the world outside. She knows someone's waiting for her return. At the end of the long day, she stands before Commandant. The suffering they have endured, the scars etched on their bodies, all will be washed away by the warm sunlight of the days to come. The beautiful glow of dawn paints the clouds along the horizon.
Lucia! Lucia!
And it's here, at the break of dawn as morning light emerges, that they reunite. With this rare opportunity to access Zero Point Reactor 1, Asimov has tasked them with collecting fresh samples to bring back. You didn't need the invitation and key? From the other end of the comms, Asimov's voice carries an unusual hint of relaxation. Looks like we haven't reached the worst-case scenario I anticipated. You're talking about the Hetero Tower. Vonnegut's planning to fire up the Zero-Point Reactor, which will bring the Hetero Tower crashing down. We're still in the dark about how the Hetero Tower actually forms inside, but the moment it gets here, punishing is going to mutate in ways we won't be able to handle. I got all this from the Hetero Mashard's data. Vonnegut absolutely meant to do this. Our original worst-case scenario was him pulling it off, and the Hetero Tower descending again. At that point, you and Lucia would have had no choice but to head into the Hetero Tower with the invitation and the key, and try to take control. Is he dead?
I'm not sure.
Lee's confirmed that Vonnegut's body is dead, but considering past instances of consciousness transfer, nobody can say for sure if he uploaded his mind somewhere else again. And he did say he would be back. I'm not convinced that he's dead. And also I hope he's not dead because I want him to be playable someday. Playable Vonnegut win! After a quick rundown of the samples he needs, Asimov hangs up. The Commandant closes the terminal log, their gaze fixed on the setting sun. All the pieces of the past have fallen into place, like a puzzle with just one crucial piece missing. But that's not what matters right now. Commandant, the transport's almost here. Nearby, the 3 members of Grey Raven have just wrapped up their sampling mission. Their transport is about to touch down, and they'll soon be heading back to Babylonia.
Are there any entries we missed? I can help.
Everything's already sorted. Sample collection complete, Commandant. We're good to go.
Let's go. Let's head home.
They are going to step into the morning light, returning to the place they call home. Oh, so there is more. Well, I mean, I knew there was one more thing, but I didn't know it would go on with To the Galaxies and Wither to Shine. Dreams rewound. That resolve reweaves the stars, suffering, and time itself. Okay, wait, I do want to quickly go back in here. I couldn't tell if, like, during the thing with Vonnegut in the like, black and white
We'll protect
zone,
everyone.
was that me doing it correctly, or, like, did I make it to the inside?
That's exactly why we have to stop you. Together, Sunblade!
Did I make it to inside the barrier, or is that what happens when you don't get in the barrier? I want to know. Ow!
Don't think you can escape my sight!
Raven's Light. Severed Knight. Rise.
Oh.
Don't think you can escape my sight!
Raven's Light.
Nothing serious. Focus!
Go on.
Seems like you are still full of ideas there.
What's that? What?
Ah!
Lucia, do you remember now?
Rise and fly high. Rise and fly
Oh, I didn't mean to do that one. Haha!
Changes nothing.
Suck on that!
Let the lotus bloom.
Tidings in life and farewells in death. Existence and demise. Even so,
I'm here.
you still choose to charge ahead.
Okay, I definitely made it in that time.
Lucia!
Okay.
In the end, there's no other way forward. Only the victor shall live to see how this world ends.
Like I said, whatever Commandant expects, that's what I'll strive for.
No way out! Time is under my control! Don't think you can escape my...
Let me finish.
Your chance of survival has been reduced to 0. Cease your insistence. At the end of time!
Is he not taking damage?
Escape my sight!
After all, this ending.
Hey! There, defeat Vonnegut without dying. Okay! Awesome. Okay, now let's finish this off. So this has the thing of, like, it takes place on the, like, timeline, so to speak. It says it's between, or like around the same time as To the Galaxies and Wither to Shine, but those both took place in the bad future. So I'm wondering, like, maybe this is gonna address Ishmael and the alternate version of Nanami, the two of them who helped make the timeline reset possible. New fruit. Perhaps it was bitter enough to make her want to gnaw on fate's backbone and roar at the world's injustice, but no matter what, that is already in the past. Ooh. Ooh, yeah, I've seen this.
The has come. The heat of blood had faded away. The chains that bind my soul. Hope there's a chance to load and last, to make a shot and thwart the dark's arrival. Thinking on me back, break through the last flag. Thinking on me back, march down the fire track. Thinking on me back, break through the last flag. Thinking on me back, light up the dawn, rip out the net. Chase the silver light, reverse the time, take out the blight. Spreading ravens' wings now fly. Rewind, rewind to sky beyond the sacrifice. Cry leads to the sunlight shine. Build a path to reach the prime. It rises, rises bright kind, till the blades lace the night. Till the end becomes the start. Thinking on me back, bring through the last flag. Thinking on me back, rush down the fire track. Thinking on me back, bring through the last flag. Flame on the drum, the day on the dream, the getting of the night.
Oh, I don't know what that said. Yay! But that did remind me. What happened to Chaos? Because Vonnegut still made Chaos in this timeline, I think. And I don't think we saw her at all during the fight with him. So where'd she end up? To think you'd find your way to me. You're as sharp as ever, Grey Raven. Closing the book, Ishmael flicks her fingers. A strange field warps the space around them as a gateway gently seals itself, keeping its secrets hidden from prying eyes. Ishmael? Or perhaps I should call you... Or perhaps I should call you... the Merciful One? Whatever you prefer. Rising from her seat, Ishmael retrieves a porcelain cup brimming with sugar cubes from beneath the table. Would you like some? Sure. She plucks 2 sugar cubes from the cup and drops them into her coffee, stirring thoroughly before pulling the cup toward you. Yeah, Wishmail. Was that... I think that was like a name that she was called back in her world or something. Without sugar, it would be bitter. Ishmael remarks, a hidden meaning in her tone. I feel like she... I don't know if this is the intended meaning, but I feel like what I pulled from that is like... It's kind of what the story is, you know? Like, this story is very dark and bleak, but there are these moments of warmth that prevent it from being too bitter, you know? I think it's, in the end, still like a very hopeful story for the most part. Although we've had some moments. We've had some moments where we were like, oh no.
All of that is behind us now. So you were the one who helped me, weren't you? Yes. And no. As I've told you before, I'm just the gatekeeper. I don't make the rules. Every turning point hinges on you, Grey Raven. I can only help you cover your tracks, but I can't dictate the story that unfolds. Today, this world, all these shifts are because of you, Grey Raven. Do you ever regret it? Carrying this burden all by yourself? Countless memories flood your mind, some steeped in despair and suffering, others filled with clamor or silence. Perhaps it was bitter enough to make her want to gnaw on fate's backbone and roar at the world's injustice, but no matter what, that is already in the past. Maybe a few. Ishmael smiles gently and shakes her head. If you do have regrets, you wouldn't be standing here right now. Now that you've found your way to me, what's on your mind? Go ahead. Ask away. Maybe I'll even give you the straight answer. She smiles, her gaze dropping back to the book in her hand. Well, you can give me the gay answer. That'll work too. How is Nanami doing? That's right here in this one. Ishmael pulls a thin book from under the table and quickly thumbs through it. Nanami... She tried to link up with Gestalt to crunch some numbers. The word came back. Even Gestalt couldn't compute it. Even Gestalt couldn't? Well, of course. The cosmic forces of causality are way beyond what the current Gestalt can handle. While you all were going through your transformations, she swapped out her frame and has been searching on the ground for... The girl, in her familiar frame, searches the ground for the future she desires most. She's one of a kind. Her sealed memories will unlock little by little, and she'll gradually piece together everything from her past. Maybe she'd be better off not remembering. No one can make this choice for another. She offers a faint smile and closes the book. I think knowing Nanami, I think she'll be just fine. Also, about the Hetero Tower. I'm sorry, but I can't quite spill the beans on the full scoop with the Hetero Tower. Vonnegut said the Hetero Tower would inevitably come back. Yes, the Hetero Tower will absolutely come back. But, thanks to all your hard work, it might show up a little later. After all, that's your prize for everything you've put on the line, isn't it? I see. With the Hetero Tower out of the picture for now, maybe Earth can finally strike a better balance of power. Perhaps, with things this way, more futures and possibilities can truly blossom. The observer would certainly be thrilled to see a world like that. Her silence hangs in the air, A clear sign that the human still has time for questions. So, is wiping out the punishing virus the only way to make it through this catastrophe? That's one question I can't answer. No one can answer your question. Not even me. Dominic and Nemo's timeline got wiped out by the chaos contamination, while the four-winged White Raven civilization rotted from the inside out, consumed by the greed of Substance Zero. Ishmael turns a page of the book, and the paper crumbles to sand in her hands, trickling down with a soft rustling sound. No one knows how to fix this mess. This question has no answer, yet countless answers all at once. Just as you've carved a path I never saw coming, maybe humanity can cook up a totally different, truly viable solution. I'm looking forward to your solution, and to the day when you and your civilization can truly walk alongside me as equals. The pages of the book slowly close as Ishmael turns to face the human across from her with a smile. Now, it's your turn to answer my question. Since you managed to find your way here, you must have gotten all your memories back, haven't you? Yes, I have. The memories that were once a jumbled mess have all been untangled. Following a crimson thread, you've read through every bit of your past. Making a choice like that all on your own, after 30 years. Whether it's diving back into the ocean depth, or converging the timeline, the slightest misstep would reduce everything to ashes. Were you ever afraid? A flicker of genuine curiosity sparks in the pink-hued woman's eyes. Never. Why? Aren't you afraid of... Because I know. No matter what choice I make, they'll always have my back. Oh. Yes, them. 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 For you, maybe this is just a story. But for me, this is more than just a story. It's also the world where they are. A fleeting moment of melancholy crosses her face, only to be masked away instantly. Ishmael lets out a soft, non-committal sigh. I see. Well then, let's keep going. I'll keep watching. To see what new fruits your world will bear. We did it! Yeah! So we did it. The new timeline.
everything has worked out. And although the Hetero Tower is going to show up again sometime, we have a bit more time to get ready. Woohoo! So we're not out of the woods yet by any stretch, but we'll get there soon. All right. So I'm gonna end here for today. There's still 2 more side story chapters with this patch. One of them is out now. The other one doesn't come out until the 10th. But here's the thing. Wuthering Waves also gets its 2.7 update this week. And I want to do that too. It releases on the 9th. Technically, it'll release like late on the 8th for us in the US. I would play it on the 9th, but I have another voice acting class on October 9th, and it will be in the night. So that night will not be good for me to stream at all. I will not be able to do that. So on the night of the 9th, I won't be here. So I think I might do something I don't normally do, and try to start the new Wuthering Waves update as soon as the update goes live. On the night of the 8th. That means I'll be starting a little later than usual, probably closer to 11. But I just don't want to wait. It's the finale of Renacita! I want to do it! And so, if we're doing the night of the 8th, that'll be 2 nights from now. Which means tomorrow I could try doing the first of the 2 side stories in PGR, but I don't know if I'll have enough time to do all of it. So I'm wondering if I should just wait until afterwards. Like, that might just be a better idea. I don't know. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow, maybe I won't. But regardless, I will do the side story eventually, and I will definitely be back the next night for some more Wuthering Waves. Okay, so that's kind of my plan coming up. I don't know if I'm gonna do the whole finale of Renacita on the night of the 8th, because I know 2 new main story chapters are coming out. There's the 10th and 11th of the Renacita story arc, and the 11th will be the last one. They both come out on that day. So maybe what I'll do is do part 10 on that night, and then do part 11 on the 10th after my class. But we'll see. I guess it depends on how long part 10 takes. Alright. That'll be it for me today, so let's go raid somebody. Let's see who's still streaming. Let's try this. This is someone I haven't raided yet, but who raided me recently. Princess Roska, or Roska. I'm not totally sure how the O vowel would be in this name. Roska, one of those. She has raided me before, which I thought was very, very nice, because we don't know each other very well. But we both did that voice acting like workshop thing with Maihan a while ago. So let's go give her a raid. She appears to be playing Peak with some friends. So let's just go say hi. We can do the Luke Wave emote together. Yeah, so we're gonna do that. Thanks again for coming. I hope you all have a good night and a good rest of your week. And I'll see you later. Bye bye.